Are you embracing and enjoying all the homeschool freedoms you can have? Hi, my name is Amanda from Learning to Love Well, and I'm going to apologize for my voice. I've had this thing, I don't know what kind of sickness it was. It was just basically some kind of cold, I guess, but it kind of knocked me out for a little bit, and I still kind of sound a little weird from it. So I apologize for that. This is a channel all about homeschool, the practical, the talks, the things that, if you could sit down and talk with someone who's been doing it a while, that's what this channel is about. And I'm always open to learning a little bit because there's probably some of you that are actually further along in homeschool than I am. And if you have something to share, I would love to hear it. So today I want to talk about really embracing and enjoying the freedoms that we have in homeschool. Today was an odd homeschool day. Although some of my kids did their curriculum, at least 3 of them did. The tiny one doesn't have to do it every day for right now. And we got to sit down and watch traditional skills. It was a virtual conference, and we got to sit there and learn about cooking skills. And 2 of the speakers in this particular skill set were actually professional chefs. So they got to learn a little bit about cooking from that perspective and how to make things from absolute scratch. And it was just a really cool experience to learn and to be able to share with them. And we're going to probably do it a couple more times within the next couple of days. And I say all of that to say that so many of us sometimes, especially me, I tend to err on the side of get the curriculum done. And although that's good, that is good, that is a good thing, there's so much more freedom in homeschool than just getting the bookwork done. So most of the time, if we really buckle down, bookwork can be completed probably within, a couple hours to maybe a little bit further out, just depending on how many readers we're doing that day, or if we're all caught up, or whether or not one of my children are struggling in a particular subject. But we have the freedom to implement things that we want. Like, for example, right now, my kids and I have decided, and my husband, that we're going to try to run a 5K. Or at least me and my oldest child is. And then my husband is going to take my other ones for the smaller child version. And we got to go and train for the first day today for running this 5K. And in the past, we've been able to take breaks for exercise, or to go exercise at the pool, or to go and exercise and hit the gym. And we can do all of these during the hours that normally would not be operatable if we were in school. Now, most people might be like, oh, well, don't you keep regulatory school hours? Yes, we do. We homeschool through Monday through Friday, and I think we're switching it up after praying about it. I think we're going to take Wednesdays as more of a hands-on school day. And this is going to look like getting projects done, my children getting to learn things with their father that maybe would be more on the life skills side of things. Like, for example, changing the oil in a car, plugging a tire. My husband and my boys just put out concrete so that our dog stopped escaping from underneath the fence. But they got to learn how that worked and how to set it and how to, install concrete, and getting to do a little bit more hands-on projects that is just going to teach them how to do things and how to learn things in real life. I think a lot of times we have overdone the educational system. I think sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees. Like, we look at like, oh, they have to learn this and this and this and this and this. And those little things we actually never use in real life again, other than to reteach it to our kids. Unless you have like a very specialized background, like unless you go into engineering or architecture, or we have to learn all the sciences, right? But a lot of it doesn't even stick because we don't use it. And so, and for those that want to argue that, this is why a lot of people argue why parents shouldn't help their kids with homework, because they don't remember what was taught. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. And so sometimes we get to rabbit trail and we get to show them how to learn how to take on new projects and DIY projects, and teach them how to do things that would not be taught in school. I have 2 kids who decided that they want to learn how to crochet. And they wanted to learn how to knit, and I told them that I'm still getting the hang of knitting, but I could teach them how to crochet, and they were both in agreement, so they were really happy about it. There are kids who have learned how to cook and cook very well. One of my children just made me Rice Krispie treats, and they were pretty delicious. And all of these things that we are able to do in homeschool that we would not have the opportunity if we just stuck to a normalized, like, everyone pull out your bookwork, everyone pull out this, everyone pull out that, which is great. It's great that we can learn and retain knowledge. But the one thing I've learned the older that I've gotten is you can have a lot of knowledge, but if you don't know how to apply it, it don't work so well. You'll just have a bunch of facts, but you won't know how to actually use the facts that you've learned. And I think that that's the problem that we have with so many kids now, is the fact that they may have been schooled, but they don't know how to use or apply the skills that they were supposed to obtain in school. And although I don't know what the Lord has for my kids, we put them in a variety of topics and a variety of different types of schooling. For example, if they show an interest in music, we do something so that they can learn music. If they show an interest in crafting, we buy supplies so that they can learn how to paint, or learn how to crochet, or learn how to sew or design, or whatever they have that they are interested in, that they want to see if this is something that they would like to pursue. The more that they can really take the time to hone in all of those skills. Now, the reason I say that is not to add another thing on top of your already mounting curriculums, because trust me, I'm a curriculum junkie. I love curriculums. I like to purchase curriculums. I like to look through curriculums. I like to get excited about curriculums. And this is now me going on 8 years of homeschooling. The curriculums are great. I have favorites. If you've watched this channel for a while, I definitely have favorite curriculums. But the beauty and the wonder in homeschool is not just about the curriculums. It's about the ability to get hands-on and learn from your environment and explore and have creativity and cultivate a love of learning. This learning can look like just reading together. This can look like, taking on different crafts, learning confidence, having skills. If you've been on my channel any length of time, you know that my kids are planting with me in the garden. They've helped me harvest the garden. Some of them have even, they've helped me. They've helped me in the garden. They've helped me weigh produce. They've helped me keep track of the produce. My kids have learned so much about kind of more of the homesteading lifestyle, and learning so much about, different recipes, and learning how to cook and culinary skills, and how to build and how to do things with my husband, that they're being set up with a confidence that they can create, they can grow, they can maintain, that God has given them all the tools that they need to take on and explore and try out new things while they're still young, and really cultivate skills and hobbies and things that will produce and help them be productive in their own lives later on. I say all of that. Take the liberty that's been given to you in your homeschool. Take the time to enjoy the freedom that you get. If you guys like nature walks, grab a notebook and go out in nature and go on a nature trail and just go and explore all that the Lord has shown, has given to us in nature. If one of your children, if you're by a beach and they love the beach, go and collect seashells and get them to draw it and then research it and then do a project on those shells and what kind of sea life did those shells come from, and get them to find out the origin of sand and where does that come from, and why is the sea salt, the water salty and fresh water isn't. And you can make an entire curriculum, and you can make an entire day and focus on things that just rejuvenate your kids and you. So if you're stuck in a rut, if you feel like things are getting boring in your homeschool, if you feel like you need an outing or something, ask God to help you to be super creative in the space that He's given you. And I promise you, He's super faithful and He will help you. The Lord helps all the time. Jesus really does always come through. And you can come up and bring the wonder back into your homeschool so that you enjoy the freedom that you have. And you can really cultivate those holistic whole children. If you watch my last video about holistic homeschool, this is part of it. It's just getting to enjoy the freedom that you have. Yes, we follow state laws. Yes, we need to be compliant with what the state and the authorities has given us. God's very clear on that. But then other than that, take the freedom, make it fun, make it enjoyable. And I hope this is encouraging you to not always stay in the box, because you don't want learning to be a drag. You really do want it to be a gift and to be seen as a gift. I never want pursuing wisdom or knowledge to be something of a drudgery. I want it to be an awe-inspiring way of looking at it. I want it to be a get to rather than a have to. Well, I hope this finds you well. I hope you enjoy it. God bless and have a great day.